everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Beach Court Podcast. It's Easter Sunday. The Monterrey Regional Championships just wrapped up. But you're hearing this on Thursday, so you'll have heard all about the Monterrey Regional Championships this week. But we're going to give our opinions on the top 8, how it's going to impact the meta going into Seville this weekend and into Milwaukee 2 to 3 weeks after this. We're going to talk about some trivia. I got a good trivia question again for the boys this week, so I think that they will enjoy it. And then we're going to talk about That's Too Much. We're going to bring that segment back where Maddox brings up some cards that are in the meta, maybe not in the meta. We try to guess the price of those cards, and the winner will get a pack of FCBC sleeves from Maddox. So super excited to talk about that segment and bring that back. But yeah, boys, how was your Easter Sunday? Filled with lots of family, travel, church, work, anything?
Yeah, so I woke up at 8 o'clock and I had Alexa and I had breakfast with my dad.
Hey,
It was
what'd you have?
nice. I went the first watch.
Oh,
Classic.
tell me you got
True
millionaire
American
bacon.
Classic.
She did actually. She got
So
the
good.
Monterey bacon sandwich or something like that.
Wait, the
Wait, sorry,
Monterey?
Is this a known thing? Like bacon sandwiches at First Watch?
Well, I don't know about the bacon sandwiches, but the millionaire bacon is like a known thing.
Okay.
Oh, really?
You're talking
I've
about like
never
the
been.
Grand Slam. Well, I've been, but I didn't know bacon. I mean, like you're talking about like it's a Grand Slam special or like an All-Star special.
No, it's just like it's bacon with like cayenne and syrup and like spices on it. It's very
Okay.
good.
Was the pig rich? What's the gist? I mean, millionaire bacon, like what, like?
There is no gist. The gist is the bacon tastes
Well, who's
good.
the millionaire though? That's the gist.
We
That's what
are
I'm trying to
because we're
figure out.
eating
You
dope
feel like
bacon.
it when you eat
okay,
it,
Okay.
I
So,
guess.
so you'll get your paycheck for the week, and you go pull up the First Watch, and you're like, "This is what it feels like."
Right.
All right.
So
gotcha.
now we're a food podcast. So welcome to the. Anyways,
Welcome to the food court
The
podcast.
food court.
Just kidding. We're the Beach Court podcast, named after a stadium card that is named after Skyro Bridge.
All right, so Parker, you had some breakfast.
I did have
And-
breakfast. I had a nice 8-hour shift.
All right.
And then I went and got Arby's for, I guess, an Easter dinner with Alexa. And
That place is still open.
yeah, two of the closest ones to me closed, but I had to sort of make a slightly longer drive, I guess.
All right, Parker, I do have a little bit of beef. So you played the Raging Bolt deck that I played to Atlanta at locals this past week.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask why, because that deck is like terribly positioned right now.
No, nobody told me it was terrible. I found out for myself that it was.
Why did you not talk to me since that's on you, man? If you're like, hey Max, how this Raging Bolt deck feel? I'd say, I probably would never play it again given the option.
Wait, did
Yeah.
you not listen to the Beach Court podcast last week, Parker, where we talked about?
No, I mean, he never was like, "Oh, this was the worst deck I ever played."
Okay,
It was
to be
just
fair,
like,
it's a fine deck as long as you don't play Dragon Ball. The problem is everyone's playing Dragon Ball.
yeah, well, that's not what I lost to. But yeah, I was like, let me just play Raging Bolt to both locals this week, and it just did not go well. So it went well for my opponent that played Raging Bolt. He had literally everything. I had nothing. I played Iono before I played Sada.
Ruh-roh. This is
I'm your dealer.
yeah.
I mean, actually, sometimes it's pretty good if you get turn one attach.
Well, I didn't. And, yeah,
You played Iono. You went squawk into Iono and still misfan wrote him probably.
So basically, yeah, I had Nest Ball and like Stretcher, Rare Candy, like pretty much like bunch of like pretty good stuff, and I just squawked into like a Bolts, benched it, and like passed. I was like, well, this deck's really cool.
You have a good deck.
And my opponent's like, Earthen Vessels, Nest Ball, Fan Rotom, do this, play Squawk from hand, boom, like Sada, and I'm like, okay, yeah, man, I guess so.
What else did you do this weekend? Do anything else fun this weekend, Parker?
Yeah, Saturday, I took loads to work, then just kind of chilled at home, and then I picked her up and we went to like some kind of K-pop meetup thing
Hey,
at like
yo.
a hotel. Yeah, I was like, it was random. She was like, "Let's go to it." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so we went to that. It was fun. It was kind of like a marketplace ish sort of thing, a bunch of like vendors, and I guess like by the time we had gotten there, like all the like other festivities were kind of subsided. But then what do we do? Oh, and then we went
Chill,
to
yeah.
Friendship Fountain after. So
Friendship Fountain is been redone. It's very nice.
it is, yeah, yeah, yeah. They got a playground and like there's a big fenced off area where they're making something else. I don't know what it is, but
Cool.
For
yeah.
those of you not in Jacksonville, Friendship Fountain, right, a spot right by the river, nice little park area. I used to have the office, like I used to go work in an office right near there. But it's a nice little spot.
Closest
So
to Mosh, Museum of
yeah,
Science and
which
History.
is
Yeah,
another
yeah.
spot that people who don't live in Jacksonville also don't know about.
If you don't
Uh,
live in Jacksonville, move to Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Move
swing
to
by
Jackson-
Friendship Fountain when you're on your way to Nakama Anime Cafe to play with us on Wednesday locals. Uh,
Anyways, Max, what about you?
yeah.
How's your week been?
Yeah, I'm talking now, so I guess I'll just keep talking. But I was tearing it up with none other than Tanner Hurley's Dragapult list. I thought the 3 triple Luminous was like pretty cool, and just like wanted to try that out. Plus the Genesect, like being able to show off Ace Specs was very disruptive. I was able to hit a Hydreigon, and I like bricked for a few turns, and they had like their 2 energy on a Hydreigon, and I had to smack into it, but I got the Genesect down with the tool. They're like, "Come on, man! I had Neo Upper in hand." I'm like, like we're safe. Like, because if I miss that, I probably just lose because I just goes Obsidian, and just
Obsidian,
wipes
yeah.
and just like destroys my board. But so that was kind of sick. So I had fun with that, made top 8 there. And then went down to Orlando this past weekend for Easter. Just kind of spent some time with the family there. Was able to watch the Rays game on Saturday. We had a nice comeback win in extras to beat the Yankees.
Did you go to the game?
Love to see that. Just watch it from
Oh.
home. But nice to be able to watch with my dad. We're both big baseball fans. And then yeah, today was pretty simple. You know, my church had a brunch, had some folks over for that, and then back to Jacksonville to get that Milwaukee grind going. So
Yes, sir. Get that grind on. Yeah,
yeah.
my week, I played locals on Wednesday. I brought a very spicy kind of like idea I've been tooling with, and it was okay. But let me just go on record saying like the idea is good, but it needs a lot of work. Right now I think we talked about this where everyone's just shoving Badoo and just leaving Badoo active, right? So I said the value of like Iron Bundle goes up, right? But I said, well, what if we just snipe whatever we want to snipe on the bench while not putting energy back in our deck? Because that's the issue with Terror Box. The energy just goes away. So I played like a Cruel Arrow Dark Box, like a roaring Moon build with like 2 Pheasantippities and 2 Power Glass to try and attack with Power Glass or attack with Pheasantipity as soon as possible. I went 2 and 2 with the deck. It's pretty good. Like it does pull off the Fez attack pretty reliably. The issue is like it's a 2 prizer that's in your active, right? It's not Radiant Greninja like it's trying to be. But it does pull off, the things you're trying to do. So I think there's some tinkering with a list like this. Like I just kind of put something random together. But you could toolbox it. You could play like, because you play 4 E-Switch. So you could play Fire Energies. You could play, I played Clefairy with a Psychic for the Dragapult match. And I think it's a pretty cool idea. And if someone wants to take it and go work with it, it's on my Twitter. It definitely needs some work, but Pheasantipity turn 2 is a really good attacker, especially like Dragapult and like other decks. It's worse than the like Raging Bolt and things like that. So that's where the deck kind of is a little weak. But you just gotta figure out how to fix those weaknesses of the deck.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like when you can chain attacks and like ignore the Badoo, right? We saw a lot of Raging Bolts playing like the Baby Bolts successfully. I think it was even Christian Fanon who had a list or a concept of a list where it was like a triple Baby Raging Bolt and just like Crispins and Sadas and like really trying to get that first attack early because like if you can just get to a spot where you're able to like spawn trap with your cloaks, it's pretty strong.
Right.
And even do a thing like a or even like the Greninja EX with like Mirage Barrage if you can like find a way to chain that, like being able to just like ignore the Badoo and like keep knocking out whatever your opponent's trying to set up, like definitely strong right now. So I think like there is a lot of merit to like a deck like that could show up and just like exist and do well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that goes. I don't know how much time I'll put into it because I'm not going to Milwaukee. So, but we'll see. Other than that, put together some baby stuff this week. Went over to a friend's house, got some dad lessons, changed a diaper, kind of like hung out with him and just kind of saw what their routine is. Like there's nothing better than like, hands-on learning from a friend who's been through it. So did that this week, and I'd say it was Easter. Went with the family, hung out with them, and had a nice Sunday.
Good stuff.
But I tell you what I didn't do, and people were really sad about it. I wasn't in Monterey this weekend streaming the Monterey Regionals.
Yeah, where's the
Uh,
scuffed hand cam, Eric?
Bro,
Brent Thomas had asked for it, and he was so upset he won the whole
he
thing.
won the whole thing. Yeah, so Brent was like,
He-
"All right, hold my beer. I'm gonna go win the whole thing."
He
I'll be-
added us. He was like, "Hey, maybe like at Beach Court Pod might provide a scuffed stream coverage." He just wanted people to know that he was going to win. So
Yeah. All jokes aside, like there's a lot of people that reach out, and like it's pretty cool to know that need is there, and that what we did in Merida was awesome, and really impactful on people. But shout out to Christian Fontenot, Sticks PTCG. He kind of like took over for us and did it, on his Twitch stream. He streamed all of Top Cut, and then kind of gave us the updates of the decks going into top 8 and things like that. So we do have a little bit of information from Monterey. We'll break down what went down in Mexico this weekend, as Maddox alluded to. Brent Tonneson took down the whole thing. There was approximately 1,300 masters in Mexico, and Brent Tonneson took it down again with Gardevoir. So Gardevoir goes back-to-back in this format. Second place was our world champion, Fernando Cifuentes, with his Blissey Monkey Dory deck. So got a little bit of Easter there on Easter Sunday with the egg-type Pokemon.
the Easter Miracle Run for sure.
Yeah, the Easter Miracle Run. So top 2 decks, had Monkey Dory in it, and we're abusing Monkey Dory. And I think Monkey Dory is a really strong card right now. And then rounding out top 4 was Dragapult Dango with Caleb Rogerson and Yurko Valencia with Terra Box. We did have a 9-person ASIM cut at 29 match points. So that's, for those of you that don't know the math, that's any number of wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. For the tournament structure, we call that X12 for those of you that haven't heard that before. So all
Yeah,
those players that
9-1-2,
ID'd
so.
at X2 did not make it in this tournament. But what are your thoughts on the top 4 and the results of this tournament? Blissey came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Blissey deck, unfortunately at the time of recording, we don't have all the details of Fernando's deck, but we know that it was a true Blissey EX and Toolbox Dark type deck, right? Leveraging lots of Monkey Dories to deal with the Dragapult damage. Also included even like a Roaring Moon EX for like a late game like cleanup attacker. So I think like, it's cool to see the shift of like an anti-meta, right? We saw like 6 decks. We saw 6 Dragapults in cut in Atlanta, and then only down to
4.
2 true Dragapults plus the Goldengos, which played a thin
true.
Dragapult line.
True.
I think they're Caleb Rogerson and Grant Chen. Were they on they're on the same 60, just with
Same
one Dragapult
60.
EX and a 2/2 Dracloak line. So I think a little bit more of like a response to Dragapult, right? Blissey was a deck that was conventionally pretty good into Dragapult. Terrorbox kind of snuck its way up there again, maybe capitalizing on a little less respect. And then some solid Dragapults and Goldengos. Decks, either Gold Dragapult decks or decks with a decent matchup in Goldango. And also, Tyler Matthews with the little bit new rogue deck, the Joltik box deck, featuring the Joltiks from, Stellar Crown to power up either your Iron Hands or your Pikachu, and even played like Moran EX, Iron Leaves, and just a lot of Lily's Clefairy, just a bunch of like toolbox options. So I think this is like the meta responding as best as they can to Dragapult's dominance and taking decks and, hey, Goldango, pretty good matchup. Blissey, pretty good matchup. Joltik box, shove Iron Hands, and you don't care if you're getting Badooed. Things like that, just like putting them in a fortunate spot to get a strong matchup. And I think really capitalized on it this weekend.
Any thoughts, Parker?
I like to see this kind of stuff. I mean, like, I don't think anyone had Blissey getting second place at this regional on their list. Terrence played it last week. I don't know if the lists are the same. I don't think they are, but like that's the concept is there. I did see that like the Joltik Pikachu Miraidon, it like top, like Sejun Park played it
Yeah, yeah.
at the Korean Championship. And I guess like people were just like, "Yo, that's dope. Let me build it." And
Yeah, I mean,
I guess,
we tried to make it work early, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I was trying something for a while there with like even like other co type Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely good. I was a little surprised that you don't see like a Magneton line in it because like you could
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
put the energies right back on your Pikachu or whatever.
I guess
But
the thought is like your Joltik is getting KO'd, so you can
so
never
you're
win a
on the hot.
Magneton, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's probably the thought process behind that.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually looking back real quick. So the first time I saw this list again, it kind of picked up some steam in Asia, the Joltik box list. I was actually where I first saw was with Sejun Park, of course, a previous video game world champion. And I was looking between him and Tyler Matthews' list, very, very close lists. The one difference is from Sejun Park's list is that he actually, Tyler Matthews cut a bravery charm. Actually, no, he cut something to add in the Maractus, which was kind of the surprise inclusion. Played the corner Maractus. He cut a Pokegear. Happens. So cut consistency for a fun tech card.
What do you
but,
think the Maractus is for specifically?
I think it's just set up. If you go Joltik into Pikachu, and then you gotta like you put your energies on. I don't know.
you'd probably be able to like just cheese some stuff, or maybe even if you just need like one setup turn to go in and like crispin something type of thing, it gives you a little bit of
Sure.
time. Like maybe you need to buy one turn with it
Maybe
type of
about
thing.
one
Yeah,
turn.
that's what I think.
You are playing 4 boss, so you do have a lot of ways to strand things in the
And
active.
Prime Catcher.
And Prime Catcher, yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness, 4
So,
boss and Prime.
I do want to make a quick note on Sejun Park, right? Known, right? VGC world champion. I think TCG top 32, world Pokemon Unite top 8. He's competing at Pokemon Tekken, and actually now he has received his invite for Pokemon Go Worlds. So I think
Yep.
he's the only player to receive a Worlds invite for every single like main Pokemon game. So I think
Listen,
maybe he's just
we
the
can
true
get a
Pokemon
Jacksonville
master.
team together, and we can get the world invite for Unite, right? We can make that
Oh, we have
happen.
Richard.
That's what I'm
There
saying.
you go.
We can make that happen, right? So we can go ahead and combat this, Sage. We can come with you, brother.
We'll be the Western Sejun Parks.
Listen, Sean
Jacksonville.
from Nakama knows how to play, Pokemon Go. He'll teach us everything we need to know.
Well, I know
And,
how to play. I ain't finding a 7, 12, 13 Ivy Stunfisk or whatever.
I
Oh,
know
for Pogo. Oh, Pogo, let's just go buy an account from someone and be like, find the person who won. Just go to the person who won Worlds and be like, hello, I would like to buy your iPhone. Deal? Just like get all the stuff.
I know this weekend there was people going and like doing raids of like the Gigantamax and Relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like 40 people to take it down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Back in my day, I just walked outside my house at college and just like, hey, Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, Pidgey, another one.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
something,
tuning into our
something
Pokemon
interesting
Go
to call
and
out
food.
that I want to note from top 8. I mean, obviously, we've known Gardevoir is like super strong, a strong deck, and so Brett Johnson decided to play Gardevoir. Did not include the Zoroark EX that Henry Chow, publicized last weekend in Atlanta. Did play, however, the Cleffa. Played a Cleffa and a Badoo, so that way, you turn one hand is a little dead instead of Badoo, you just go Cleffa. And played triple Monkey Dory. Really just consistent lists: 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Stretcher, 4 Iono, 4 Research, like 3 Charms. We're just drawing a bunch of cards and getting there.
4
so-
Stretcher also.
Yeah, 4 Stretcher, yeah. So really good deck here. 3 Charms. I think the concern at Monterrey that I heard from our friend Steven was that like there was a good amount of Goldango decks playing a copy of Jamming Tower.
Jamming Tower, yep.
So maybe we'll see Jamming Tower now that Gardevoir's won 2 regionals in a row. Like that Jamming Tower is probably going to come up more and more in the meta. Something you should be thinking about when you're deck building, going to Savell, or if you're going to Milwaukee in a couple of weeks. Think about putting the Jamming Tower in your deck because Gardevoir is here. It's a threat, and they lost Refinement, but they just find a way to make it work, and Monkey Door is a good card.
All right, time to bring back Reggie Drago V-Star. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. So rest of the top 8 was Grant Shin, Dragapult Goldango, Tyler Matthews, Joltik Hands, Eder Gerulo with Dragapult, Tanner Hurley again. We had him on last week, talked about Dragapult. They made a few changes to their list, and it was documented in their masterclass as well. So he played Dragapult to another top 8 finish, and we did
Yeah.
have a 9-person ASIM cut. So we had Victor Areno with Raging Bolt knocked out in 9th place. So yeah, that's the rest of the top 8. Any final thoughts before we move on to a couple other items from the tournament?
You're trolling if you didn't listen to our last episode with Tanner Hurley, because he went and did the exact same thing he did last week with Dragapult again. So, check him out. Check out that video. Get a little idea into how to play Dragapult. From, again, one of the proven best Dragapult players in the game right now. So definitely give that a listen.
Yeah. All right. So I want to bring up. I want you guys to get your crown. Go to your little desk over there. Pick up the crown, and put it on your head. You guys are now kings. You're kings for a day, and I want you to look at the Pokemon structure, and specifically related to tie rate, because the tie rate in Mexico was 21%. We've usually had around like 16%. 12 to 16 has been like our normal. The last Mexico regional was I think you said 18%.
19, no.
19. This one was 21%. So really high tie rate. The question begs is, are the Pokemon structure rules for time right now as good as they can be? And if not, what changes would you make since you're king for a day?
Parker, I kind of want to pass
oh,
it to you with.
Oh,
you, you've seen the game through a bunch of different formats and been going these for a while. So like, obviously, right now it's a slow game, but we've seen it a lot of different ways. I mean, like, what's your take here?
yeah. Well, I think it's about as good as you can get. So like, just like another game, Yu-Gi-Oh. They changed their time rules to somewhat exploitable like method, but they added 5 minutes. I don't really think that's the answer for Pokemon, but like I don't know. There are a lot of times where it's like, oh, it's like if I had like one more turn kind of thing, like I would have won. So like 55-minute rounds could be, but like then again, I don't know. That's another 45 minutes at least on a tournament. I mean, that's doable. Still, I think they could do it. But like, I don't really think there's a better answer now, at least.
What do
Yeah,
you think?
it's hard to say, right? I mean, we've seen different formats. I'm very thinking back to like, you have like a Gardevoir versus Lost Box, right? And you just
Right.
know you're in for like a long grindy game. And like these games just often goes tie, just like based on the format. And we've had formats where it's like, okay, yeah, it's hard to avoid ties with how long these formats are. I think players find a way. I think given the game and like the complexity and the liberties that players have in terms of number of actions and time for actions, like you're always going to have a problem with like finishing games within the round, given like given how much time you have, right? I think if it moved like best of 3 in like 60 minutes, I don't necessarily know if that like fixes things. I think some games will naturally conclude a little faster, but you're still gonna have games that are, hitting time and turns, or, oh, I know I have more time, or, oh, instead of me knowing that I have to like finish game 1 within the first 20 minutes, I can finish within the first 30 minutes because I have a full 60. Like, I think some of these things will get like adjusted. So probably the only like really impactful thing you could do is like start to get like much pickier on like the actual action time per
Right.
player, right? I mean, because
Right.
probably where we see games take the longest, it's when people are mapping out a turn. It's when you're taking that first time to prize check. It's when you're trying to set up your combo. Okay, well, I gotta look. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Okay, let me look through my deck. People are playing their knock towel and then deciding what the best line to go about is. Okay, well, I can grab this and this. Okay, well, do I need to use another knock towel? How do I need to draw? Like, and like the quickest way to fix it is to probably go and say, hey, we're getting much stricter on like this 15-second rule that is technically the setup, but isn't really enforced. Now is that good for the game? I don't really know if it is. It makes it less accessible. Probably the immediate thing you could do is make time more accessible and make it easier for players to know how much time is left in the round.
Mhm.
Which then, and I think some of the tie rules, especially, I think they're one of the real limitations of Merida and Monterey is that a lot of these players, again, they're just getting regionals back for the first time in many years. They're not
Yeah.
used to best of 3 formats. Some of them don't even know. Wait, if I lose a game, if I win game 1, if I lose and game 2 doesn't finish, then the winner of game 1 wins the set. Like people don't know that.
Right.
I think if we had clocks available at every table and people knew the time was a little better, if that was explained in the opening announcements or was part of RK9 sign up, then maybe people have a little better idea of the impact of time. And then, again, how they play is still how they play, but it makes people more aware. Hey, it's been, it's been 15 minutes and it's still 6-6. If we keep up at this pace of play,
Yeah.
right, we're not going to get anywhere. So
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a gradual shift of just information. Cause that's where you and I see a change. I played slow for a while just when I was learning the game. And now, okay, I've gone to enough of these regionals that I know the time rules work. Okay, I have to play into these times.
Right.
I think it's getting everyone else into that mindset of, playing the games within time to have a conclusion where we actually see the results change.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I just talked about that information piece. Like, as we move towards reporting our match results on our phone and stuff, I think what would be a really, really cool feature would be after you input your result, it spit out simulations. Like, hey, if you win 3 more, you can make top 32. But if you win 2 and you tie 1, you're top 64 or top 128, right? Like if it kind of gave you those projections of what you could get to, I think it'd be really cool. Because that's the issue, right? And you see it every tournament with an ID and the last round of the tournament. They don't understand what they're doing and the impact it has to their overall tournament just because they're so new.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've seen it at locals, right? I mean, the amount of times
Yeah,
it's the last round of locals and says, hey, can I ID and
yeah,
win store credit here, or
yeah,
am I good
yeah,
for cut, or do I need to play? People don't know, and they're ask the experts, or you have to know. I'm gonna go to the
yeah.
Swiss calculator. Parker's kind of nodding his head like he doesn't like this, so I'm curious what your take is.
Oh no, I was just saying it's yeah, people almost every locals people come up like, can I ID? Like, are you 3-1? Are you 4-1? Yeah, you can ID. But yeah, I don't know. One thing that has been mentioned, and I don't remember if we actually mentioned it on here, but was chess timers.
Mm,
Um,
I don't like that though.
I do in a way because I'm oftentimes on the side of
Sure,
I'm playing
sure,
1 action per 1 second per action, and my opponent is 30, 40 seconds in action, and we tie because they can't
sure.
play fast or
I
whatever.
can't shuffle well, right? Whatever it is,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know if that's fair too, because then you got decks that have a million actions, and then you have
sure.
Snorlax or a deck like that where you just go draw, play supporter, Rotom, boom, it's my turn. Or I don't know. Um, it, I think like there's no really better way to enforce the 15-second action
Right.
thing besides having judges at more tables to monitor it really, but I don't.
Well, I guess there's a question when I mentioned chess timers, right? In a 15-minute match, should each player be entitled to 25 minutes?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Would be the idea behind it, or whatever number they would decide on. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm almost with the philosophy that not each player, each player doesn't necessarily need 25 minutes. And I say that because again, it's very action dependent. I think that, again, if my opponent's playing a deck that takes more actions, I don't necessarily think that I'm at a disadvantage, because of that, or I don't necessarily or I don't know if I need more. I don't know if I need more time for my actions because I have less actions, type of thing. Um, so if it was a chess timer, right, do you ever modify it where it says I think it's really trying to cut out the excessive time, right? To maybe play, right? Maybe I'm playing Raging Bolt against someone playing, I don't know, what's the Dragapult, right?
Sure.
So maybe they have more actions, or maybe I have more actions, right? I mean, whatever the pieces there, if you're a deck that gets set up faster, right? Think old Miraidon, right? Old Miraidon versus like a
Arvin
know.
for generator for Zealstone.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, like you're playing your things quickly, and a Gardevoir opponent has to like do everything they can to like refinement and like try to muster to a thing. Like in a game like that, like I don't necessarily feel like, oh, I need my full 25 minutes of time,
Yeah.
and like and I don't really mind that like my opponent's turns take longer than mine.
Yeah.
But I think the excessiveness is when it's like, okay, when your opponent's playing a deck that takes a lot of actions and they're taking longer times on those actions on a regular basis, like that's where we see like the pace of play really slow down.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the chess clock, in particular. I think I posed this question to Uncommon Energy on their like members only section or whatever. I'm pretty close to like I don't like mind the rules that we have right now. Like they're pretty close to good, so I wouldn't suggest like if I was king for today, I wouldn't suggest any like major changes, right? Because we got to be careful. We can't kill control, right? Control needs to be as part of the game.
Yeah.
So if I was king for the day, I would do. I'm gonna ramble a little bit. I think it's 3 things. I would do 3 things. First, the first things I would do is that every player, after you draw your 7 cards and you have a basic, you look at 6, you write down your prize cards, and you put them face down after you shuffled them. That's number 1. All right, that's gonna save across any given best of 3. That's gonna save 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8.
In theory, saves 12 minutes if everyone takes 2 minutes for
Everyone
each
takes
prize
2
check.
minutes. It takes 12 minutes, right? So that's 12 minutes right there. Number 2, eliminate the +3 turns. So I think you eliminate the +3 turns, and to do that, you just say the round is 60 minutes, and you do like Japan does, and you say, okay, if whoever went first, if time ends on their turn, then the other player gets 1 turn. That's it, and then the game's over. And then lastly, I would implement some type of like rule to get rid of ties for the most part. Because again, it's just like a lot of people don't know what ties do to them. And so because of that, you want to eliminate that like you want to eliminate that variable from the tournament as much as possible to like make it newcomer friendly and like accessible to people. So I would say something on the lines of like you could still keep the 1-0 victory as a thing. And ties are still possible. I don't know like specifically how this would be a thing. But basically, the only way a tie, how I see it be possible, would be an ID, or after the 60 minutes plus 1 turn, you guys are tied on prizes. Then it's a tie. Otherwise, use top cut rules. If you're ahead on prizes in game 3, you win. So those would be the 3 things that I would do if I was king for a day. Maybe I would do them a little more gradually. I like the prize rule. Obviously, we got to fix that. And then I would experiment with like the 60-minute +3 thing, because like then like that, especially for tournament structure,
60 minute
right?
without +3.
Yeah, because tournament structure, you look at it like, okay, we got 50 +3, but sometimes +3 takes like 20 minutes because they're resolving something, right? But now if it's just 1 more turn, I think maybe our turnover for rounds would be a little bit quicker too. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword with fixing that. So those are the kind of things, those are the ideas I've heard that I like, and what I would change. But yeah, any other thoughts on that before we move on?
I know, like, like Lorcana tried for a bit the best of 2 format.
Right.
So where like if you win 1-0, or basically you have to win 2-0, you get 3 match points. But if you win 1 and your opponent wins 1, you both get 1 match point.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And then there's just no game 3.
Interesting.
But
How long were the rounds? Do you know?
I think it was 45.
Okay.
40. But yeah, I know I tried that for a little, and then they went back to best of 3, which I do just think is better. But
I think my only context is like Alex Shemansky said he went to one of those and he was like, "We don't want best of 2, guys. Trust me."
Yeah.
I'm maybe wrong person, but maybe I'm mistaken. But I remember there was a notable North American Pokemon player that was like, I tried it. I don't think we want this in Pokemon.
Yeah,
so.
I love best of 3. I think it's very a skillful like thing. But again, I just want to I want to eliminate the fact that like some players don't know what ties do, right? Like, and they just don't know because they don't have the experience. So if we eliminate it completely, or at least mostly completely from the game, then, I think that helps a little bit better. So let us know in the comments below what you think. What would you do if you were king for a day? What changes would you suggest or make to the current timing rules of Pokemon? But let's move on to our next segment, which is our trivia segment for this week. But before we do, I need to give a quick shout out to Nakama Anime Cafe. They're here in Orange Park, Florida. We play locals there every week on Wednesday. And right now we're doing a series with Johto badges. And I currently have 5 Johto badges. And you obtain
Wait,
these
you've gotten
badges.
the Kanto badges already too?
Yeah, you're right. Kanto. I said Johto, didn't
Oh, okay, yeah, very good.
I? All right.
I was like, wait, am I that behind?
I was
that
like-
missed the
I was like,
Kanto
whoa.
badges too?
Sorry, Kanto badges. I currently have 5 badges, so once I win 3 more, I will win the ETB. But you're welcome to come on Wednesdays and try to get first or second and beat me on the badges. So the first one to get to all 8 wins an ETB. So that's currently ongoing. Come out to Nakama every Wednesday, 6:30, and try your luck at getting first or second at locals.
Parker and I will be showing up and stopping Eric from securing the ETB so we can have it ourselves. Because it's
Yeah.
impossible to get packs these days, let's be real.
I just have to not play Raging.
True. All right, so let's move on to our trivia segment. I want to give a quick shout out to Fernando Cifuentes for his inspiration for this question today. He is our 2024 regional, 2024 world champion, excuse me. And he decided to bring an Easter-themed Pokemon to Monterey. He brought Blissey. It's an egg type, right? Eggs and Pokemon go together. So, according to Limitless, what is the oldest Limitless page that exists with a Blissey card included in their deck? And I will
Like,
give you
Any
I'll give
iteration
you-
of Blissey.
any iteration of Blissey. I will give you
Okay.
1 year each way.
Okay,
So Limitless.
so the Truth had a copy of Blissey Prime.
Yes, Ross
So
Crawford's deck.
so that's like, I mean, that's so I'm assuming that's on Limitless.
I
Even though
don't
it's
know
pretty
if it
old.
is. I thought Limitless only went back to like 2016 or something.
I know they added some of the old results, so I know like for Worlds, like I think they have I know they have like old World Championships, I think, but I don't know. I don't when that year. I mean, would that have been, what year was that with the
The
Truth?
Truth was like
The
2012
2013, 14.
or something.
Actually, I'm sorry, it would have been 2010. Yeah, sorry, I had my years
Yeah.
mixed up. Yeah, so like
2011.
2010. I mean, is there any other viable Blissies? I mean, I guess one.
Blissey V.
Do we think that's in? Oh yeah, I guess one. Do we think that's in Limitless?
There's gotta be another Blissey that I'm just completely forgetting. Maybe there's a fairy type one. Oh, there's probably something weird that I just don't remember. I know that Blissey V got second at that regional.
Well, again, it just needs to be a Limitless page, right? So it could have gotten 158th, but if it made it day 2, right? So,
Oh yeah,
But,
that's true.
but also, I mean, so I guess. Well, sorry. Do we not think that Ross Coffin's The Truth is in Limitless? Because I think I need your framework. Like, if it is, like, then at least it needs to be then or before. But if it's
Right.
not, then it's prior, right?
I feel like it's not, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I've never tried to go back that far because I just didn't think it
looked
existed.
that far. But I don't know. It's just like, I mean, it's just like iconic history that I know. So I hope, but I know Limitless doesn't have like everything. Okay, so if there wasn't one, say if it's not Blissey Prime, I don't know if there's a viable Blissey before then. But like if it's not then like what else could it be? So like, was there anything good before Blissey V? Any like, I mean, no Blissey like GXs or other Blissey EXs. Mega Audino won Worlds, but that's
It didn't have.
we have Blissey at home. So,
God.
like, I'm inclined to just believe that Robin Schulz has loaded in The Truth, because how could you not? Like that's my inclination. Other than that, like it has to just. I mean, like I don't know any other cards before that besides Blissey V.
Yeah, no, like, let's just send The Truth, I guess.
Okay, so we'll send The Truth 2010.
2010 would be okay, sure. So you're saying 2010.
Oh wait, what year is the truth?
Well, it might have been 2011, but
2010 or
it may-
2011. Well, I remember it was Primes plus X plus first black and white. And I forget, because that's right when I started playing, but I forget what year it was. So actually, it might have been 2011 Worlds.
Yeah, because it was like Dawn Fan Prime and how all the Outragers.
Oh, exactly. I had like Outrageous plus had the Entei Suicune Legend and all the shenanigans. So, all right. So 2011.
2011, locking it in.
Yep, locking it in.
2011 is not the correct year. However, the year is 2010. So you
Okay.
guys are correct with the plus or minus one. So Ross, according to Limitless, is old like with Blissey. He played Vileplume Runiculus.
Yeah.
Had the Blissey in it with the Blissful Nurse of Pokepower. But what the answer I was looking for, again, you guys got it correct. Congratulations, because I gave you the 1 year grace. The oldest page is by Eric Nance in the 2010 World Championships. The Steelix deck using the Blissey with the Nurse Call ability that once during your turn before you attack, you can discard a card from your hand. If you do, remove 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon, and you can't use more than 1 Nurse Call Pokepower each turn.
Wait, what year? Wait, which place deck was this?
17th place World Championship 2010, Eric Nance.
Man,
played
how do you
Blissey.
even get there?
I just searched 2010 Worlds.
Yeah, so what I did was
I
I
can
just
share
searched
it
for
if you want me
Blissey,
to,
right? Yeah,
Eric.
you go ahead. You're sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're gonna do
we'll
our
be
next
sharing
segment, so you can
later,
share.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
But yeah, this is
it-
way
like
back.
the filters don't go back that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Blissey from, what is it, from Platinum, Nurse Call. You may discard a card from your hand if you do remove 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know this card existed, but here we are. I mean,
Yeah. Volkner's Philosophies in this deck, Life Herb, 3 copies of Judge.
Just a healing deck, I guess.
yeah, Steelix
Just
Prime.
keep your
I mean,
Steelix alive, I guess.
right. It's so funny. Like, again, like the decks that were good back in the day are like so far from like what we see today. I mean, like no like 2 prize Pokemon. Like, I mean you have like broken set of Pokemon like Uxie,
Yeah,
bench it from your hand to
setup.
bench, draw until you have 7. Just like at any point in the game, just like absolutely absurd like setup here. Yeah. Wild. What is it?
Got the double colorless energies to set up
Faulkner's
those Steelix.
Philosophy. It's wild.
Yeah, so anyways, I just was inspired to look at Blissey and like if you like Max, if you go back to cards while you're there.
Yeah.
Go back to cards and like search for Blissey.
Well, that's how you found it.
Yeah, so just go Blissey and then press enter. And then like so these are all like the Blissey cards. And like so I just started
so
from
you
the
went
bottom
backwards,
and worked backwards. Yeah.
Of course, about Blissey Prime, the one Parker and I end up on. Vileplume Reuniclus combo, also known as The Truth, from Ross Cawthon, featuring the 1/1 copy of the Blissey Prime.
2011.
I didn't know Jaywitz got 5th at Worlds with the Omega Magnezone.
Yeah, he's kind of the GOAT like that,
Oh, I know he is. Oh yeah, my Sammy Sakum's on here.
Josh Wittenkeller.
Jay Hornung. And
some old
Jeremy
names.
Jalen. Yep.
Yeah. Some names people know for sure.
Yeah, so congrats, you guys got it with the extra lifeline I gave you on top of it for it being a hard question. And let's move on to our next segment, which is That's Too Much, where Maddox is going to tell us a card, give us a list of prices, and Parker and I will say that's too much when we think he says a number that is just above the price of the card. So we're going to learn a little bit about market prices of Pokemon cards. And Maddox, you want to lead us in that segment?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because I cannot swap the things to the screen that's sharing right now, so I can unshare as long as you don't mind for editing.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll fix it. That's
all right. So we'll get this going again. All right. Thank you, everyone. Again, That's Too Much. The way the segment works is I'll be sharing a couple of cards playable in the current standard format, and it'll be up to Eric and Parker to decide on which one is the price of these cards. So we did not do a coin flip beforehand, so I have this copy of Tatsugiri, this card that y'all hate. Eric, top or bottom?
Top.
It is the bottom, so Parker will be going first on the guess. Parker, you are guessing Ends Zoroark EX. Again,
All
seeing it
right.
show up in, of course, Henry Chow's winning list from Atlanta. Pretty playable card. Out of Journey Together with hard set to get right now. So the question is, how much does Ends Zoroark EX cost? Parker, when you get to the price, it's too much. I need you to say that's too much. All right.
Yes.
First price we're getting to is $486.
Jesus.
Keep going.
$643.
Keep going.
$798.
Keep going.
$9.09.
Keep going.
$10.13.
I think that's right about where it is, but
But
What
is
the
that
heck,
but is
bro?
that too much, Parker? That's the question you have to answer.
I know,
first
I
right
know,
now.
I know. One more.
$11.59.
No, that's too much.
All right. Parker's locked in $11.59. Eric, you seem a little bit shocked that the price is even this high.
I thought it was like $5. Like,
All right, Parker's locked in $11.59. The question is that too much? I don't have the sound effects this time, but the actual retail price of Zoroark EX is $10.09. So $11.59, missed it by one. You really thought about it, but
I knew it was 10 something.
you're right around 10. Again, Zoroark EX, $10 card. Pretty playable right now. I mean, did spike before, is leveling out a little bit, but I think with it seeing
Yeah,
some
Okay, it
more
must have went
play-
down.
Yeah, with it seeing a little bit more play here in, other decks, right? We're seeing Archaludon decks with Zoroark. We're seeing any deck that can shove in a Zoroark is doing it, right? We saw the 1-2 line from Henry Chow. So a card people are definitely picking up, and
I mean, we're seeing it like in Goldango and stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
as Lowell posted the video where he likes to play in Goldango. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, dude. Look at the high sale price. Rip that one person that's bought one for $24.
yeah, I mean, hey, it
Jeez.
really do be like that sometimes. All right.
All
Eric,
right.
you're next up. If you
That was
remember
tough.
if you remember last time, Eric, we gave you a tricky one. We gave you Prismatic Evolution, right when it was at its peak, super hard to speculate the price of.
Sure.
So this time we mixed it up, and you have Prismatic Evolution again. So do you know the price of this still? We're a couple weeks out. Do you still know this worth that you think you would never be asked this again?
Oh boy.
No, I don't know because I don't buy packs.
All right, well, we'll see if you can figure out if that's too much or not.
All
First
right.
off, $4.99. Is
Keep
that too
going.
much?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
$7.42.
Keep going.
$9.61.
Gotta keep going.
$10.78.
Keep going.
Is this still a $10 pack? You think it's more? Okay. $11.94.
That's too much.
That's too much. Locking in $11.94. Parker, would you have stopped here? Or would you have gone a little more?
I think I would have gone like a little more
Yeah,
of it.
I considered it, but my number was 11 in my head. So like once it got past 11, I was stopping.
All right. Well, Parker might have stopped at $12.85, but we did keep going a little bit more. Actual retail price, $13.54. Yeah, we're up, not a $10 pack anymore. We're up to $13.50. So I'm stumping y'all today.
Dang
quite
it,
on it.
bro. What
So
the
yeah,
heck?
a single pack of Prismatic Evolution up to $13.94. See, this is around when the last episode was, Eric. Actually, maybe it was even longer ago. I don't know, but a little one of these lower prices. But here we
Yeah.
are up at 13. So
Look how many packs have sold on there, dude.
Crazy.
yeah,
And those are loose packs.
20,000 loose packs sold via TCG
They're
Player.
Just loose packs.
Pokemon is officially here to stay, right? I mean,
That's just a 3-month snapshot too.
yeah, just the 3 months.
Oh,
Absolutely
true.
ridiculous.
It is just a...
Ah, jeez.
Oh.
All right, no one's on the board yet. Parker, we got one more
Dang.
chance to hop on the board for a potential tiebreaker, but you got to jump out to a lead here, or else Eric might have a chance to steal it from you at the end. Next card is an old favorite, a playable staple, one that we saw with 2 top 8s in this most recent tournament in Monterrey. We have none other than our fancy original art rare Goldango EX from Paradox Rift. So again, we have the fancy one from Prismatic Evolutions, but we're going old school. We're going for the mean muggin, arms crossed Goldango from Paradox Rift, everyone's favorite art. It was a pretty pricey card for a while, has adjusted maybe a little bit.
Hey, you
have
those?
I have 3.
Where's the 4th? What are you
Jeez.
doing? You're throwing.
David has to sell it to me, so tell me how much it is so I can go buy it.
All right. It's not up to you this time, Eric. It's up to Parker. Tell us if that is too much. We're starting here at $22.15.
Nah, keep going.
$24.89. Is that too much for a copy of
Keep
Goldango EX
going.
from Paradox Rift?
Uh,
$26.78.
Keep going.
2862.
I know it's
Eric's
was-
crying because as these prices, like, this is what I have to pay for it now.
it's like right around $30. I know. But
Whether you know or not, Parker, is that too much?
I think I'm gonna stop there. That's too much.
All right, Parker's saying 2862 is just a little bit more than it should be.
I would have gone at least one more.
Eric would have gone up to
I would
2994.
have gone one more. I would have got one more.
3131.
Yeah, I would have stopped 31.31.
So actual retail price 2859, 2862. Parker got it. Just too much.
It
Copy of
dropped a little
Paradox
bit.
Rift
That's what I thought.
for Goldango EX. Well, currently on the market price running $28.59. So selling one for $30 at a vendor, kind of a decent deal. But Parker was right on the money at this one.
Good job,
Lot in
Parker.
that local
I'm making it
card
rain.
store knowledge. So Eric,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of stress for you now. You have to get this
Fine.
next one to stay on the board.
It's fine. It's fine.
And also, if you want a chance to win this Easter pack of FCBC sleeves, you got to lock in here, get this last one, and then try to
Forgot
get a
about
tiebreaker to get a chance. So Parker's like, wait, I could use some new sleeves. So
I'm locking in. I'm
Okay,
locking
you
in.
want to see some of my Dragon Shields on my decks?
all right. Anyways, but don't get too ahead of yourself, Parker. Don't start unsleeving your deck yet. You might have to stick with those greasy sleeves if you can't win this game. So again, we're talking about the new decks, right? There's the latest new deck on the market that's been getting everyone's attention. None other than
Flareon.
the EV box deck. So a copy of Flareon EX from Prismatic Evolution. What is this card going to run you, Eric? You have to tell us if that's too much.
You're doing the SIR?
We're in the SIR Flareon EX.
Oh, the
Oh,
SIR, bro.
my.
The
No.
one in the picture. It's in the picture. Anyone who's not watching
Oh, my.
on Spotify or anyone not watching on YouTube, but the Prismatic Evolution SIR 146 out of
All right,
131.
I'm starting at 200.
All right, that's too much. First one, 96.74,
Keep going.
110.23,
Keep going.
119.48.
Flareon's like one of the worst ones, right?
Dang.
I mean,
How
it's
could you?
Like,
Flareon
if-
enjoyers, tell
Like-
Eric how wrong he
the,
is.
the issue is it's playable, so that's gonna drive the cost up.
Where's my Flareon plush? Oh, we got the Flareon live in person on the pod.
All right.
The GOAT Flareon.
Let's go one more.
We're going one more. 128.72.
That's a big jump, bro.
Hey, man. I don't make the... Oh, I do make the rules. It's my game. So, it might be a big jump, might not be. But the question is that too much, Eric?
I'm gonna go one more.
136.44.
All right. That's too much.
All right, we're locking in at 136.44. It's too much. We went all the way up. We had a 142. We had a 150. We had a 162.
Oh, it's gonna be the 142. No!
Actual retail price, 142.78.
I knew it. I was like
Ah.
looking for one that like went up by like 5 or 6, because that's like your
Mm.
like trend.
Okay. He's trying to game the system. So
Dang
actual
it.
retail price, Flareon EX SIR from Prismatic Evolution, 142.78. So if you're someone who wants to play out your deck,
Jeez.
I think they're only playing 2 of these. So it's going to run you a little bit. So just, prepare for that. But solid deck, a decent group of players played it to Monterrey. I think it's a deck that is like, we're probably going to be seeing more of. I'm curious
Yeah,
to see
I
how I'm
think so
doing
too.
Seville, just because
Yeah.
like decent Goldango matchup, decent in Dragapult. And that's kind of a good spot to be right now.
Yeah.
Hey, is it? Wait.
What?
Are you sure it's not more than that?
Hey, this is what it said as of like 2 minutes ago, or whenever I checked before the thing.
Judge.
CG player?
All right,
Judge?
we'll do a live check of TCG player,
Oh,
make sure we're
that's-
correct.
I just looked it up. It was like 300 or something like that.
We're on
Judge.
EX. Oh, actually, this is the wrong. Well, actually, wait, that's the Japanese one. Wait a second.
Judge.
Man, all the folks at home are
I
upset
demand-
because we're waiting on this.
All
and
losing
I'm
their
gonna be right the whole
marbles right
time.
now.
I demand a recount.
Oh, wait, what is this from? Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
I don't know what you're look. I was like,
Wait a
this
second.
card's definitely at least 250.
I was saying, like, in my head, I was like 200.
Oh, wait. Did I not update this one? Bro, Raggy.
It's fine.
Anyways,
It's fine. It's fine.
Eric, nice job on getting this one. Anyone curious, the actual retail price of this Flareon is $312.43. I think I had the wrong other Flareon art, so apologies there. So if you want to play this deck, the $300 I was telling you to set
Hey.
aside, actually just double that. Just straight up double that.
It's on the downward trend too.
Yeah. Mhm.
It is.
Jeez. All right.
It's all good. I would not have got it, so just give it to Parker. He won.
All right. But for fun, we'll do the little tiebreaker.
All right.
Again, this one, so last time we did closest, the retail price without going over. This time's gonna be a little different. You need to get the closest to the actual price of this card. I'm going for a real oddball out there. So we know Badoo right now is running the format, but this is not the first printing of Badoo. This is only the third ever printing of Badoo. So today we have Badoo from Diamond and Pearl 2007. What is this card worth? And the best part is you have zero context. So again, Parker, you want our flip, so you get to give the first number. Again, you don't have to go. You can go above it or you can go below it, but you need to try to guess what is the price of Badoo level 6 HP 40 with Baby Evolution
Oh, it's a common.
from 2007. Yeah, it's a
Let's see,
no, it's
it's
an uncommon.
It's an uncommon.
Uncommon.
Let's see, uncommon. Search for a trainer. I don't remember this guy seeing a crazy amount of play.
Well, the card is 18
I
years
guess.
old.
Correct. What?
Oh, whoops.
Oh, was that the answer?
No, that was the answer from last time.
My guess is like $3.25 or something like that.
$3.25. Eric, what you got?
It's closest without going over.
Yeah, you just have to get closest.
$3.26.
So you think it's more than a $3.25 card.
Yeah.
All right. The actual retail price of this Badoo, you can get it moderately played for $2.70, but the retail price is $4.68. So believe it or not, this Badoo card, I don't know, has the from Diamond and Pearl base set.
I was gonna say $5
around.
if I was like playing the actual game, but
Yeah. So yeah.
if you forced me to say a number, I would have said $5.
Yeah, fair enough. $4.68. So again, if you want an old school Badoo, it's gonna run you about $5 or $2.70 for moderately played. Plus $1.31 shipping. Man, these CCG players vendors.
Yeah, $4 now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's gonna do it for That's Too Much. Parker's locking up the Easter pack of FCBC sleeves. You can unsleeve those funky sleeves you got there. You know, we're anti-gamer gunk here. Get some nice sleeves with some good riffle and some good color.
Please don't sleeve up the Raging Bolt deck with that, Parker. Like,
Oh no, I'm not. I'm actually selling the deck.
Yeah, everyone's gonna pull from Milwaukee unsleeved and just boom, take it.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for leading us through that, Maddox. But that's going to close out our episode for this week. Good luck to everybody competing in Spain this weekend in Seville. We'll look forward to the results next week as we start to prep for Milwaukee. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Make sure you check out our recent episode with Tanner Hurley. If you want to hear his interview with Dragapult, he's got back-to-back top 8s. He was on the podcast and talked about Dragapult. So link should be here in the description with that. And I think it's going to do it. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.